name is Jason Verdone, and I am here from the LRC, and I'm bringing you another Learn and Create. So today, since April is here, and it is the week of the young child from NAEYC, the National Association for the Education of Young Children. So today, as you can see, we're going to do some open-ended painting. Developmentally, we want children to experience creative arts, what we call process versus product. So we want children to experience the process of art versus the end result, which is the product. So in our video today, I'm going to show you I'm going to highlight different things that you could paint with other than a paintbrush. So the first thing I'm going to show you is we are going to paint on a piece of sandpaper. So I know traditionally we paint on paper, but there's lots of different things that you could paint. You could give kids to paint with. So sandpaper, bubble wrap, tin foil, but I'm going to show you sandpaper today. So I did a sample ahead of time, and it's good to give kids different kinds of things to paint with and on, because it has a different resistance. So as you can see, I'm using an average kitchen brush, and you'll see through our video that I have different things, like I talked about in the beginning, to paint with other than a paintbrush. So this is just a traditional dish brush that you would buy, at the dollar store. And the sandpaper is nice because it has a resistance to it, not like the smoothness of a piece of paper. So that's what I did here. And I also have toothbrushes. That's what I did here. So you can get, use your old toothbrushes or toothbrushes from the dollar store. It's just a different way for students and kids to paint with, other than a paintbrush. So again, we're thinking outside the box. We're thinking, open-ended. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to paint with a rolling pin. So as you can see, my rolling pin I got, at a yard sale, or I'm always about repurposing things. And these are those fun foam stickers that just happen to be in shapes. So in an early childhood classroom or a kindergarten classroom, it's almost everything we do is cross-curricular. So as you can see, we're doing art, but we're also doing math. So we're talking about shapes. So so this is what it's going to look like. This is what mine looked like. So what I did was I got Q-tips, again, a different way to paint. It's good for their fine motor, the kids' fine motor. So what I did was I learned doing this that you can't put all the paint on and roll it as you would a traditional rolling pin, because it doesn't work. So everything's trial and error in a classroom, right? Some things work, some things don't work. So I learned that you have to kind of make it almost like you're doing a print rather than rolling it, and you have to make sure you put enough paint so it shows up. So I'm going to do a little pattern here. All right. This would also be fun to use with clay and Play-Doh. That's another whole thing we could do. Lots of fun stuff with that. All right, so you see I have my colors of my paint on my circle. So like I said, you have to press it down like a print and not roll it like you would a traditional rolling pin. All right, next I'm going to show you how to paint with potato mashers. So it's very, going to put it going to dip it in the paint. Yeah, it's all about exploring. It's all about giving children the opportunity to be creative without being told what to do. Okay, because we want to foster that in our classrooms and homes. There's our, again, the less paint you put, the more of a design you'll get. Again, trial and error. There is no right or wrong with art. That's our orange. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to paint with a salad spinner. Seems like we have a kitchen going on here today. So it's just a traditional salad spinner, okay? And I cut circles. So today I have, a bigger circle and a smaller circle. Okay, so I'm going to put the larger circle in the basket, and you're going to, have the children drop some paint. And there's no rhyme or reason. Any color, any design. It could be swirly. It could be just dots. Okay. I'm going to put the lid on. So this is, again, another cross-curricular subject, because now we're doing science, because you can talk to children about how energy moves things. So the paint is being moved by your arm turning the salad spinner. And I learned when I first did this with teachers that I tried to, sometimes there's a little hole in the top, not this one, but in some of them, and I tried to put the paint in it and spin it, it didn't work. So I had to again, trial and error and redo it, and I learned putting the paint right on the basket, right on the paper, is how it works. Here is one of them. Okay, that's the big one. So now that's 2 colors. So now we're going to put the smaller one in the basket, and we're going to try with 3 colors. So I have some orange. I have some green. Dotted green, and I have some purple. Okay, so that's, you can use coffee filters, I've done that. Okay, again, we're going to turn it. Let's see what happens. It comes out. This is cool. And we have, you can see how the colors layered. Now I'm going to show you how to paint with plastic gears. We have these gears, you could that you would use for science. So again, we're back to science and art. So you're just getting your plastic gear. Here's our orange one, and then we're going to make a red one. Gears are cool because, with gears, you line them up, and one gear can move all your gears, which we're doing physical science. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to paint with a feather duster. So again, something I picked up at the dollar store, but makes a great paintbrush. So as you can see, I did some clouds. As you know, it's spring, and we're going outside, and we're talking about cloud formations, or reading stories about clouds. The Cloud Book by Eric Carle, or It Looked Like Spilled Milk by Charles G. Shaw. Lots of great stuff. So I just made some shape cloud cutouts here at the LRC, and I'm just sticking my feather duster in my white paint, and I'm just using it like it gets on the table, but that's okay. Let me clean it up, right? So it looks like wispy clouds, right? I used thicker poster board here, but like I said, you could use bulletin board paper to do this. You could, if you do use bulletin board paper, this could be a great group activity, because you want to do lots of, for a large group activity, you could take it outside. It could be a small group activity, but you can get every student one of these very inexpensively, and then the kids can work together to make, it could be a contribution to your bulletin board, or, the sky's the limit, literally. All right, so our last thing I'm going to show you today is we're going to paint with unit blocks, okay, little colored unit blocks. So I made my own stamps. So I cork and a hot glue gun, so you have the part where they could hold. So as you can see, this is what mine was. So again, coming back to cross-curricular. We're talking about math. We're talking about having art in the block area, with the block theme. So so I'm going to show you so I got my circle. I'm going to put it in the paint, right? So these are really fun. So I have some other things that I wanted to show you. So I have some commercially bought things, some stamps, some rubber stamps that would make great things to do with clay as well. We have a dog toy, some foam letters. Okay, so we could keep literacy in with art. A comb, some cars, and some cookie cutters. using different kinds of materials, being open-ended, and giving kids the opportunity to be creative during art time. We have our activity guide that you could download and print, and it's got some different areas that how creative arts can support a child's development, from social, emotional, physical, cognitive, and language, and creative, of course. As all the learning creates that we do here at the LRC, it's standard-based. So this activity today aligns to the New Jersey Preschool Teaching and Learning Standard for the visual arts. So then lastly are the materials that have an art theme to them that you could borrow here at the LRC. So I thank you for watching.